Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit! It's okay. Everybody's in for a rude awakening when we die. Life is short, and then it's going to be Judgment Day, and then it's going to be too late. And people will have all eternity to continue to hate God as they do now. And it will never be over.
Hey, Darth, have you apologized to G.I. Joe yet?
Have I apologized to him for what?
For the way that you treated him. It was shameful.
Okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, I'm not the one that needs the apology. It would be G.I. Joe.
Well, that's presupposing that I were to accept your analysis.
Okay, so you don't think that your treatment of a fellow Christian is shameful?
I think I didn't like the way he was treating me. Okay, so I was reprimanding him back. Okay, so obviously you and I obviously you and I disagree. Now repeating the same thing in different words is just simply being redundant. Okay,
so it's an eye for an eye, Darth.
Hold on, I've got this. So should the treatment of a Christian be distinguishable between another Christian or a non-believer?
The issue at hand here is that you felt that I treated him poorly. I don't believe I treated him poorly. I believe that I treated him with rebuke. Okay. So again, we're obviously disagreeing on this point, and repeating the same thing but rephrasing it isn't going to change the parameters.
Jesus says they will know you by the way that you love each other.
Okay, right. Mm-hmm.
Your demonstration of love.
And sometimes, and guess what? Okay, do you have
what is your biblical?
Do you have a, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Do you have children?
That's irrelevant. What is your biblical?
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. You want to have a conversation with me? Do you want to have a conversation? Okay. All right. Have it your way.
I'm not going to either. Darth, what is your biblical justification for the way that you treated G.I. Joe?
I just explained myself. Okay, you're repeating yourself all over again.
No, because you haven't answered the question. What is your biblical
first of all, if you overtalk me again, okay. All right, have it your way. Okay, I tried to have an adult civil interaction with you. I don't mind you challenging me, but you're repeating the same thing over and over and over again, and you keep on overtalking me. So have it your way. Okay. Now, if you want to act like the knuckle-dragging atheist, be my guest, okay? Okay. You were not server muted because I didn't like what you had to say. You're being server muted because you're acting in a non-adult manner, okay? Okay. I tried to reason with you, and you just want to overtalk me, ignore what I'm saying, not respond at all to what I'm saying, and just repeating the same accusation over and over again. And you didn't want to have a civil discourse, so we're done. Yeah, you know what? We really need to hope and pray that Donald Trump gets back in office through the audits in the States or in 2022, so that he can fast track research by the pharmaceutical companies to come up with a vaccine for the Darth Dawkins derangement syndrome, okay? Because it's spreading.
Hey, Darth. I'd like to know the answer that you were going to say to the other guy, but I'm not going to interrupt, so go ahead.
What answer to what?
He said, like, what's the biblical justification of treating G.I. Joe?
Well, first of all, I rebuked G.I. Joe for his attack upon me, okay? Now,
but we have to tend the other cheek.
The point I'm trying to make, well, first of all, that's not the issue, okay? The issue is not that I'm not turning the other cheek. He didn't like how I responded back to G.I. Joe's attacks and criticisms of me, okay?
Okay.
Now, I pointed out to him when I tried to ask him, do you have children? He says, oh, that we're to love each other. Okay. Loving someone does not always preclude that you don't get angry or become indignant or even raise your voice at them. Okay. And I was bringing in the analogy of children. And if you've raised children, okay, there are times when good and loving parents have to raise and even yell at their children because the children are not responding or obeying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I
So
agree with that.
it is not always unloving. Do I claim that I'm a paragon of virtue, that I've always been even tempered? No, I don't claim that. I've apologized a number of times, but other people think that we should just be this Casper milquetoast. If we look at Jesus in the gospel, when he was in public discourse, there were many times when he made scathing denunciations of people who he's opposed to. Okay.
Yeah. True.
Right.
Fair enough. So the way you saw it is you were helping him by like
Now, if somebody
being
wants to play
authoritative.
if somebody wants to play a recording back for me and for me to review it again, where I have an even better recollection, I might say, "Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have said that or this." Okay,
Yeah.
but he was the one. And see, notice he's coming to me and saying, "You owe an apology to
Darth, why
GI."
are you comparing yourself to
GI
Jesus?
came to me. Okay, I'm not comparing myself to Jesus. What I'm talking about is we have a human being, whether he's Jesus or not. I could have cited Stephen in the book of Acts, where he was speaking to the Jewish Supreme Court, and he publicly told them that they were uncircumcised in their hearts. You could not have said anything more insulting to the Jewish Supreme Court, let alone a standalone Jew, on the road. Okay, that was more offensive than that. And to show how offensive it was, they picked up stones instantly to murder him on the spot. It's that simple. Okay.
They picked
Hey,
up
Darth,
stones
can I ask you a question? Darth,
Hold on.
you need
Hold on.
to
They
debate
picked up
Darth the
stones to
Obliterator.
murder Stevens. Hold on. They picked up stones to murder Stephen because he said that Jesus sits at the right hand of God. It
Okay,
wasn't because.
yeah.
It wasn't
Hold
because.
on. Did you evade your server mute? Yeah. Let's
No,
do
I
this.
didn't. I was unmuted. And
Okay,
why are
well,
you running?
okay, good. We're
Why are
going to
you
server
running?
mute you
You
again.
only
Okay?
compare yourself to Jesus or the apostles when you are acting in a way that is deplorable. You are not comparable to Jesus or the apostles any other time, Darth. It should be distinguishable.
Okay, now, okay, hold on a second. Do we have any mods in here? I want to know who unmuted him, okay, because he's on the list, right? Now, you need to remute him again because he's on the list. And if you remove my muting, okay, we're going to have a talk with Blackout. Blackout, are you there?
Why don't you just answer the question?
All right, I'm gonna turn you down, okay? So you're turned down now.
Your
Okay.
mouth and kick some rocks.
What is the biblical justification for the way that you treated?
Shut up, dude. Shut the hell up.
To be fair, he explained.
Shut up.
To be fair, Darth explained.
Why are you still talking?
Your own
Why
ego.
should he shut up?
Criminalized. To be
Darth
fair, Darth
treats people-
explained.
Darth treats people in a deplorable way, and
All
I
right,
think
okay.
you should
Hey,
answer for
Blackout, are you there? Okay.
This crown that
Blackout,
you
are you there?
created for yourself, you need to lay at the feet of Jesus.
Okay, I want to know why criminalized abortion now is not server muted.
Representation.
I issued the command.
It should be easier to distinguish
All right, I'll
a
solve the problem.
non-believer from a Christian than it is for anyone to distinguish.
Okay,
There
criminalized.
we
He's not even here.
There we go. The problem's solved, okay? Now, he's already been answered, and he just wants to beat a dead horse, nor does he address that G.I. Jew came out, and because I was rebuking somebody in a situation, G.I. Jew came out and said, "Why are you being such a dick?" Okay? Notice he doesn't talk about that type of reference, okay? Right? So I'm fair game for people criticizing me, but if you criticize me and I give you an answer and you just simply beat a dead horse over and over again, you're just wasting my time and everybody else's.
Later that same evening.
Denying letting us on the stage to talk to them while they're saying, oh yeah, they're all children, they don't know how to debate. Like, these guys have never had a civilized conversation in their life.
Oh,
It's
no.
crazy.
All they do is just sit behind their shit show, and they press the mute button always. They're like, "Oh, what did you say? Oh, wait, yeah," and then they kick you off, and then they sit there like they never did that, and it's
I
sad.
thought you were talking about Darth. This whole time, I thought you guys were talking about Darth and how he mutes people.
No, I'm
whole
not
time
talking about Darth. I'm talking about King Xerxes.
Oh, strange. They act the same. It's really hard to distinguish between the two. That's a shame.
That's funny. Good to see you back. Criminalize abortion now.
I really
We
just
thought
came
we
back
lost
because,
you.
well, you did, but Darth ended up mistreating Christians, so I thought I'd come and tell him that he needs to stop that. It should be easy to tell him as a Christian by the way that he loves other Christians. And he seems to treat Christians the same way that atheists treat Christians. So what does that say?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to say on that. I like Darth. He's sometimes a bit rude, but he's definitely taught me a lot of stuff, and
Same.
he's been funny. He's been fun to listen to on occasion.
Well,
So
he's a clown, so he is kind of funny to listen to. But it's a shame that such a good apologetics method has to be learned by such a poor representation of what a Christian is.
You know what? I would never have really learned it if it wasn't for Darth, really. It's that competitive approach.
If you've been familiar with Johnson, I think you would have learned it better. Or even Van Til. If you had read Van Til stuff before ever hearing anything about Darth, you would know the presuppositional Christian apologetic method that Darth uses. He is not original when it comes to this method. He is a poor example of the method. And furthermore, Jesus is the one that says, you will know, or they will know you by the way you love each other. So if it's hard to tell the difference between Darth or Xerxes when it comes to the treatment of fellow Christians, and Xerxes is not a Christian, but he treats Christians pretty poorly, the same way that Darth does, it's pretty telling. And instead of addressing the concern, or instead of giving a biblical reason for the rebuke that he gave to G.I. Jew, he muted me and ran. That's telling. Watch who you follow, Foxy.
Well, I mean, watch who you follow. I mean, I followed Darth around to listen to him for a long time, and I mean, I appreciate Darth in a number of ways, but there's definitely certain things to be admired and certain things that are not to be admired, you know.
What should be admired?
His clarity in answers that he's giving to questions when they're not abuse ridden, you know. He's really, when he speaks, even if you don't understand every single word that he's saying perfectly, which is a lot of people don't, right? You still understand what he means. Or most people do. I think they do. So he's got a huge vocabulary, and it's not only educational to listen to him because of that, but it's also good because the way that he words his questions, they're formulated in like an incredibly clear way where there's no room for like messing around or straw manning. It's like, do you accept this or not? And that's it. And if they say no, then he'll crush them. And if they say yes, then it's the next question, you know, basically. I really want to write a flowchart out. But his clarity is excellent, for sure.
You got that from Greg Johnson.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not going to deny that, but yeah, it's good. It's also interesting, like, how to present yourself. Now, I know that Darth had a lot of shtick for the way that he presents himself, but his presentation style is flawless in many ways as well. Like, I mean, I wish that he cut out the insults and stuff, but when he's not insulting, when he's like it's incredible the way that he talks to somebody for just a couple of minutes, and the way that he like moves from just a normal conversation into his apologetic is gold. That is really amazing. I need to learn more of that.
A specific scenario, because the only ones that I can think of, he ends up getting unhinged when he feels like an atheist is lying to him. I don't understand how it's a good example to act the way he does when an atheist behaves the way that atheists behave.
He's just sick to death of lying atheists.
And plus, he has J-Mike trolling him constantly.
That GI was trolling him? Repeat that. I must have misunderstood what you said.
I said, you know, J Mike, the guy from Talk Heathen.
Oh, yeah. So you know that wasn't even J Mike in the most recent video. That was the giggler. So if Darth is going to get unhinged and talk about someone who didn't even troll him, that's pretty
not that
telling.
video. Not that video, but he's trolled him. He just came in here today interrupting. He's been trolling him over the past couple of weeks. No, I know that. Yeah, that guy in the video was not J Mike.
That's what atheists do. Why does that justify poor behavior from a Christian?
Angelo's back.
It's good to see you. You're another person that you're another Christian that Darth has mistreated.
Yeah, but then you get like these, you know, I hear what you're saying, but then you get these Christian apologists that aren't very good apologists because they concede on too much ground. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We need strength. We need consistency, you know, and then these guys, they'll come in and be like, oh yeah, you know, Darth's a bad guy.
If you've got two people having a conversation, one is a Christian, one is a non-believer, and then you have another person that is watching and listening to this conversation, and both the Christian and the non-believer are yelling at each other, being belligerent, they're calling each other names, and then they're trying to say that their position is the right position. What do you think that third person listening is going to take from the conversation? Do they think either of those two people are worth acting the same or emulating?
If they're both acting badly, then no. But I mean, I don't think that the Christians act badly very often. I think that we're much more well behaved.
Is a Christian supposed to represent Christ?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Obviously not perfectly.
We're not going to be able to perfectly, but Paul even said, follow me as I follow Christ. Is Darth worth following? Do you think that he emulates Christ very well?
There's certain things that he's good at for following and other reasons why he's not for it.
He's like a have been in the middle of that shit. Yeah, if you have been in the middle of two people yelling at each other from 2 points of views, all you take away is those are characters, and what they believe in comes second. And their characters might be flawed as far as how, you know, they treat other people.
Just like King Xerxes.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate when
pretty much.
your character, when you demonstrate your own character to the point where nobody can understand or listen to the things that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, but like I said, that's true for every human. That's a human condition. What they believe in, you know, is truly a second position or a second understanding that really isn't, I don't think, conducive to their character. You know, unless you have someone that is, martyrdom or something of that nature.
When you become a Christian, your character is supposed to be changing. You were supposed to be conformed to the likeness of Christ.
Well, I mean, you might believe that, sure, but I'm just saying that my takeaway, my takeaway is it's fine. You won't believe that, but my takeaway, like when I've been in the middle of debates and I've been in, like, physically, I've stood in debates, and it's like you just have angry people, and the debate could be about socialism and capitalism. You would still have angry people, and it just is what it is.
I agree, but we're not talking about the discussion between socialism and capitalism. We're talking about the discussion of God or not God. And if the person that is holding the God worldview is acting just as poorly as the person holding the not God worldview, what is the what is the Christian putting off?
Well, you have Christians like the Westboro Baptist Church, for instance, that will use their faith and believe that this is the right way to practice. And like I said, it's going to be like that for everybody who holds the religion. The character of who they are, like if they're just a really nice person, I don't think that that's religiously inspired. I think they've just been a nice person. That's how they grew up. And I think it's just, you can't really put the two together.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, look, everybody's got their different styles. Darth helped me, for sure, learn about some stuff that I wouldn't have learned about unless there was, like, some kind of aggressive, how do you say it, opposition right? Darth is very good aggressive opposition, and he, I'm sure, has inspired a number of people into learning more about philosophy, even though he's done it in a crazy way, according to most. But I appreciate that because I'm quite a competitive guy and probably wouldn't have done it unless it was for Darth's very aggressive attitude. So pros and cons, guys. Look, the atheists, they're the worst. They're the ones we should be looking at, right, with contempt, because, you know, the way that they conduct themselves is low grade, honestly. Their style, they've got no style, really. You know, their arguments, you know, they've got no arguments either. Everything, the presentation, it's poor. You know, we're looking for intelligent atheists to come and debate us, and really we've come to, like, you know, the pinnacle. This is where all of the best debates happen on a regular basis, and they're still really bad. They're really, really bad. I used to think my arguments were good, but they weren't. They were as bad as these guys.
I don't think you understand atheist and agnostic arguments that much.
By the way, did you get that, Tom Rabbit?